Hello everyone, and welcome to my universe. So, last time I was kind of investigating some stuff with the saves, and I did confirm that, yes indeed, my save did not get updated, and that's probably why some things were not working. I would very much like to update it, so that, I don't know, I don't have to pull a bunch of weird shenanigans. And I think in order to do that, I'm probably gonna have to remake some things, because... Let's see, do I get any of this set up when I load the game? Or, you know, once all this is made and whatnot? Because I don't think I do. Let's see here. Okay, so... in theory, if the thing exists, it should get put into the right data structure there on load, but because that thing isn't there, it just becomes empty, and that's not what I want. Okay, I think I know how to fix it. So, yeah, there's nothing in particular I can do here. I just have to build a thing and delete a thing and just mess around between rooms a bit. Okay, so we got this structure here. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna delete this and put it back, and I'm gonna go over here, and I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna delete this and put it back. There we go. And then I'm going to save. That was I think, right? Yeah. So there we go, I have it saved. Gonna go look at my save now and see if those things are there. This is in just a little text file, so... No, it still didn't save it. Why not? Because I think that's gonna be the first thing I need to figure out, because... I don't want to have to make this every time. That sounds awful. So, yeah. So I'm not going to. I think that's going to be to do with when I update it. Hello there, Wolffighter. Welcome back. So yeah, probably to do with when I update it, which I do believe is down here. Let's see, in Recalculate Factory. I think this is when I update everything. Yeah, here. So... used exits array. It updates used exits array. I think I do that in spawn building, right? I have to remember what I did last week, and that's always a time. So let's see. Okay, so there it is. Yes, this is where I update that. And I don't think I updated on load yet. Maybe I do? Let's find out. That'll be in ready here if I already have something in there. Let's go take another look here. Do I... Okay, no, I do. Alright, so why did that not... get populated? Because that should definitely be happening. Well, that's fine. I mean, you know, stop by when you have time. But no need to stress about it. I'm always happy when people are able to. But it's not the end of the world if you can't. There's always VODs if you want to catch up on how things are going. Alright. Yeah, so I just need to figure out where the save isn't updating. So this shouldn't be empty. Let me see if it is. Print used exits. Okay. Oh wow, it even saved my position. No, I definitely want to be in here when I save. So let's see. Let's go delete a pipe and put it back. Okay, so I do have a used exit here. That's perfect. Hello there, Juiciest Pineapple. Welcome back. Alright, so we're getting this. Alright, let's print active flow between rooms then. That's in Factory Global, right? Active flow between rooms, perfect. And now let's delete that again and we'll take a look. So there's the exit. This is going to be active flow between rooms. Which all looks good to me. Yep, that seems fine. Alright, let me put another print up at the top here, and I'll see what it looks like when I load. I mean, it's definitely not working here, but this all looks good. It looks like it's there. So what's happening when I save? I should check both the save end and the load end here. So yeah, let's go ahead while I'm here. Print. Saving. Active flow between rooms. So now we have that. And I think I also want to print the save data itself. Okay, and then on load here, I'm gonna go ahead and print on load, and this will be... Oh, hello there, Blaze Receptor. Sorry, I was a little bit focused for a second. Factory Global to active flow between rooms. Okay. So let's see what's going on here. Why isn't this working the way I expect? It should be. Okay, so it does have something. This looks correct on load. So why does my save not have the data, or am I just blind? I mean, to be fair, let me see. I think I have a notepad. Here, let me see. Yeah, this is what the save looks like for the curious. And this is what I'm trying to sift through to make sure it's working right. It is perhaps a bit of a mess and a little bit difficult to read. So, but I did try searching for flow, because the name of the key in the dictionary is flow between rooms, but it does not appear to be there. So let's see, this is... Yeah, I guess it wouldn't be, huh? Scene. Okay, and then the position and HP and stuff. So there's the room, there's the position. Alright, so the fact that I'm getting it on load means it is probably in this somewhere. God, how am I gonna find that? Let's see, let's see if I can find testing room. How about just testing? I don't remember the space. Here we are. Testing room. Okay, so this is specifically for the pipe layout. why I keep thinking it's not there, but the print suggests that it is. Like, it got the data. So maybe it is there somewhere. I want to try to find it. I just want to make sure that it's there, and that the reason that things aren't working the way I expect is because of something besides the saves being broken. Oh boy. Okay, so let's see. What's the order I do things in here? We have... If I hide the notepad for a second here. Oh, and the game. Scene. The player's position. HP. Then the factory itself. Factory stats is current active phylactery values. This one should be empty. So maybe I can find an empty thing. No. This is why I keep thinking it's not there. But if I'm getting info on load, it probably is. I can probably... Okay, let's try saving instead of trying to sift through that, because that's gonna be like a whole thing. So let's go save. I want to be over here when I save. Okay. So now we're gonna get that whole thing again, just here, and Godot is unhappy with me, but that's fine. That's nothing new. So, let's go ahead and see what we got here. Okay, saving. Alright, so I do have that. That looks pretty good, so that would be what I printed up before the save happened. Yeah, that's... Staring at this is gonna make me want to start making airplane noises. You know, where you just go... So, this was not intended to be human readable. Only the spirits needed to look at this. Oh no. Oh boy. Let me go look at the top of the notepad there. So, scene. UID, yeah. Okay, yeah, that's right. UID is that, and here, I'll show you what I'm looking at. It's easier to see here. So this is the X location, the Y location, the factory. So, but if I search for flow, it's not there. So how far am I with this? I have the majority of the core mechanics down. Right now, I'm trying to make it so that this way we can calculate element going between rooms. So I want to make it so this way you can send your resources from one room in the dungeon to another room in the dungeon, and that's what we're doing right now. So why can't it find it? Because this is going to be a nightmare to sift through because there's lots of pipes in this. I can't either. Don't worry about it. Google is very useful. Scene UID. Okay. Yep. Potentially. Like, this is mostly just for the save. This isn't one giant dictionary. It's, what, 4 or 5? So, let's see. Out of my save data here, this one isn't. But this one is a dictionary, this one's a dictionary, this is a dictionary, this is a dictionary. This is an array. This will be a dictionary, probably. Or no, this one will be an array, but there's nothing in it right now. And this, I think, is going to be a dictionary. So yeah, you can see the bits at the bottom here. What is this based on? So if this is discovered areas, persistent data, elements. So this would be blueprints. Oh, let me turn it back on so you guys can actually see what I'm looking at. I don't really care about making... Oh, there it is. It's like, I don't really care about making it readable. I just want to make sure it's there. So there we are. Factory stats and flow between rooms. Oh. Is search on Notepad case sensitive? God damn it. Spirits, why do you do this to me? No, it's just really stupid. Okay. Fair enough. You can't see it, but I just typed in the search for flow, and it still can't find it, even though it's literally right there. So, I don't know why the search can't find it. And hello there, Protox. The spirits just hate me. These things happen. I don't know what I did to offend them, but... You know, sometimes there's just no negotiating with computers. Well, there we go. I have confirmed it is there. So at the very least, my problem is probably not related to save data. I'm gonna call that a victory. Let me see. I'm gonna turn the game back on before I forget, and then I'm gonna close it. Alright, so let's take a look around and try to figure out what is actually happening here. Okay, before I do anything drastic, I want to make sure I wasn't just tired and stupid last time, because that does happen after like 3 hours of working on code. And I want to make sure that when I put the phylactery down, no fire gets there. It's claiming no water's getting there either. So yeah, no fire's getting there. I'm not crazy. Wonderful. I don't remember what kind of video card I have right now. I don't actually know the number off the top of my head. Okay, so yeah, things are still not working. Let's see. Is it because... did I mess up my calculate flow function? Because that's plausible. I've been kind of breaking that one a little bit, because I need to rewrite the recursive pipe section. I haven't gotten around to that yet. I've been working on some other things, and it's been great. So let's see. Where am I printing this? I should just search for it here. Okay. So down here, I was printing that. I think we're good there. And I think we're good here. So, saving and loading appears to be fine. That's what I'm getting from this. And if it's broken, it's because of something here. So, right now, I'm doing it based on starting point, which is no longer just extractors. Let's see, this is resetting everything, which I do believe is correct. Yes. So I do that based on starting point. Where do I go and populate that initial thing? Let's see. I think we're probably good here at this point. I'll keep these. That should be fine. Okay, so if it's... actually, no, I am kind of actively testing this part right now. So if pipe info sub-item is not a extractor, this is where I get the elements in the room, which, when we look at what was being printed here... Okay, I see connected room, flow dictionary. Yep. And then... we don't get here. Okay, so it's not being populated correctly. Admittedly, I don't know very much about graphic cards. Most of my computer knowledge is basically software-based. I don't actually know very much about hardware. That's something I may fix someday. But I'm trying to do too many things right now to add even more learnings to what I'm doing. I'd say do one thing at a time, but I am already not doing one thing at a time, so... Okay. Okay, let's... has room. And then there... has connection. Is outside. Okay, so let's figure out what layer this is breaking on. Which if statement is it not getting through? Okay. So has room, has connection, but it is not outside. So testing room to testing room 2. Okay, so we have testing room 2. Why is this still inside? That is definitely not right. Okay, so there we go. That's a good sign of where the bug is. Because I'm pretty sure I have it facing the right direction, right? Yeah, it's going outside. So why did it claim it was inside? Let me see if I replace it. Okay, that's fine. And then if I go back into the other room... let's rebuild the phylactery. Is it still... okay, no, it's right now. Okay, well that was bizarre. I wonder if there was just something wrong with it when I saved. And then I fixed it, now it's fine again. So let's see. So now is there fire in here? Let's see, where is exit element array? Where am I printing that? Right here. So this is at the very end. Okay, so connection joining pipe. I see the fire here. Exit.element array. Okay, so we're looking for the exit here. And this is going to be looping through everything. And then we loop through all the exits. In order to get this. And then... okay. And then we get paths of pipe. So let's see. Path on exit. Alright, so let's see what that looks like. And we'll just gradually go through this until all is well. And I think I forgot to save, so we might actually have a problem. I sure did. Okay, let's fix that problem first. Okay, no, I'll worry about that in a second. So that'll be fine now. So if I come back in here and save and put this down, is it working now? Yeah, we're good. I am indeed worrying too much. That's fine. It's what I do. So let's see. Joining pipes, elements. Okay, that seems fine. I see the elements there. So it's not getting it from here. Okay, let's head back up to the top then. So I think that at this point, path sub item. So that's what I'm printing here. Element is there. I see them. Yes. Alright, so this is after the path has been made. And I'm just putting it into path sub-element, and it is getting there correctly. Which means it should be a straight shot. So, I'm not quite sure what is happening. Let's see. Because I don't think I reset things after this point, right? If I do, that might be a problem. Because I reset it at the beginning, so if I do, I don't need to do it again. I think I do it. I need to do it again if it's a recursive pipe. I'm not testing recursive pipes right now. So I'm just gonna make sure that the pipe loop code isn't causing any issues. It's going to be killed anyway. I'm gonna rewrite just all of that. It's not working, so... And I'm pretty sure that the route that I was going for that is literally impossible. Let me close that so you guys can see what I'm doing, so I'm just gonna comment everything here. But yeah, I think the method that I was trying to do before is literally impossible. It will not give me the results I want. So this will be cold at some point, but I am scared, so I'm just gonna comment it for now. And I will give myself the wonderful reward of being able to delete all of that commented code once I get it working correctly. It's gonna feel great. I might do it soon, just because I might not want to scroll through all that, but, you know, that's something else entirely. Okay. Looping is irrelevant right now, so we're gonna kill this. Ooh, this might actually be an issue. So if... is starting point pipe false. There we go. So that should stop interfering with that. And is it gonna get any joining pipes? It should, because it's a starting point now. Okay. Assuming I've updated that. I might not have updated all that yet. I'm gonna have to check that. Alright. Okay, so let's see if that fixed anything. We only care about the output right now. Okay, so here's where I worry too much. Here's that. Path on exit still doesn't have it. Okay. Well, I don't know where the problem is, so let's go hunt it down. It can try to hide, but I'll go find it eventually, so let's see here. I know that... So this is where... Oh, I do try to... I don't need to do this. Okay, well that explains why it's breaking. Well, that was easier than I thought it would be. Okay. I reset things at the top. I don't need to reset it there. And there we go. That's what was breaking it. Awesome. It does have the right numbers. Right? Yeah, we're good there. Phylactery has fire and earth. Well, there we go. In all of my recursive pipe testing, I panic. I was probably flailing and just put an extra clearing everything there when I already reset everything right here. Like, this resets everything just fine. And here, I don't do this one recursively, so I don't need to worry about calling it again. So I don't need that bit of resetting that I had here as well. I don't need to do it twice. Okay. Mystery solved. No more printing necessary. The downside of flailing. All right. So yeah, at this point, we've got stuff going between rooms. Huzzah! Now, we wouldn't... I was gonna say, I might have a thing where I let it go back into the other one, but nah, I think I'll just send some stuff to testing room 3. So... let's see. I'm going to take a little, some stuff from the air here. Normally I use this for my demonstration, but you know what? It's okay. So we're gonna take from the air here. And we're gonna send it all the way over here. Over into testing room 3. Wait, that's the one to... That's right! I never actually fixed my room transition bug. I meant to do that last week. Oh well, that's fine. So we'll send it over here, and... Oop. Yep, air 800. Can I jump? Sure can. Okay, so yeah, at this point, I do think that moving stuff between rooms is working. That wasn't nearly as hard as I thought it was going to be. So that's nice. Now, I did set myself up for a test that I want to be able to do at some point. I'm not sure if I want to get into that right now because it involves more pipe loops. And I still don't even have the basics of the pipe loops working. So, well, that's not true. I have the basics. It's only the super curse stuff that's not working. But I want to get that working first. But to explain this thing that I'm really worried about, if I can get back to testing room 1. Okay, so we got testing room 1 here, right? And I have something that could feasibly go from testing room 1 into here. And then I have something that could feasibly go from testing room 1 into testing room 3. Now, what if I sent something from testing room 3 back into testing room 2? And I connected it to this pipe that was going out to testing room 1. That was then going into testing room 3. So now we have a pipe loop going between rooms. And that's going to be something that I need to get working at some point, but I think that might be a job for future me. So, because I want to get just regular single room pipe loops working. So let's see, what else is there to work on then? Because I think that's as far as I can go with the pipes. This solution I do think will work. I can still jump, right? Yeah. So I already have it so you're keeping your stats between rooms. And now I've made it so this way you can send elements between rooms. Okay, there is one more core mechanic that involves pipes, but I kind of want to get my pipe loops working first. And basically, what this mechanic is, it's yeah, gonna be one of the last big core mechanics for the factory. Is that when you put opposite elements together in the same pipe, they cancel each other out. So if you put water and fire in the same place, they will cancel each other out. And then the only time you can funnel something into the phylactery is when there is only one element in that pipe. And that's going to be the core logistics challenge here. Of figuring out how to extract all the elements you need for places, and then vaporize them in the right spots, and connect them all up into the phylactery. Since you can only have one element in the pipe in order to get it into the phylactery there. So at the very start, you will have 4 elements, one for each side of it. So you'll be able to get all 4. But later, you'll have more than that. So you'll need multiple phylacteries out doing things out there. And that's going to be the core challenge there. But I think I want to make sure my math is solid on everything else first. Because if the math is bad from the beginning, that's going to make doing further, more complicated calculations even more difficult. So I don't think I want to do that here. So instead, what I think I'm going to do is we are going to expand attacking and making it so that this way it can do more than just say, ouch. I am going to try to make some enemies, and we'll start connecting enemies and damage here. Yeah, I thought that fixing that issue was going to take longer. Turned out it was easy and I was just stupid. Somehow I'm not surprised. Actually, there is one thing I wanted to fix. I was noticing it when I was going between rooms. So say I have a pipe and I turn it sideways, and then I go to the next room. It is no longer turned sideways. I think I would like it to be turned sideways. I want the rotation to remain the same between rooms. So I think I'll do that part first. Let's do some easy things. I actually think enemies will be easy too, but meh. Okay. Let's do that first. Let's see, how was I handling stuff going between rooms? I think there was something in Factory Global about that. Yeah, selected building between rooms. Selected, or I'll say rotation between rooms. And this is rotation a float or an int? I think it's a float, but no, I think it's an int. But I want to check. Is an int? Okay. And var flip between rooms, and this will be bool. Okay. So there we go. I want to set those as well. Where do I set selected building between rooms? Okay, so that's where I bring it back. I'll do that then. This will be building rotation equals factory global dot rotation between rooms, and flip equals factory global dot flip between rooms. I believe that's it. Were there other things that kept track of the state of the buildings? I don't think so. Type info, building rotation flip. I don't think I use this. I don't need that one anymore. Okay. Yeah, I ended up not using that one, so there we go. Selected... Oh, so I don't even update the other one. Okay, factory global. Dot... Selected... Building index between rooms equals selected building index. Factory global dot... Oh, wait. This is for selecting buildings. I should not do flips or anything there. So let's go to flip and rotate. And we'll set it here. Yeah, I can just do it at the bottom. Factory global dot rotation between rooms equals building rotation. Okay, and factory global dot flip between rooms equals flip. There we go. So now I should keep all of the things between rooms. Right, I can't jump anymore. No, I did not. Huh, that's interesting. Why did it not? That seems fine. That seems fine. This is all stuff with blueprints. This seems okay. Is it just the building preview instance? Let me see. So if I rotate to the side here, and then I come here, it is rotated. Okay, so it's the building preview instance that's not respecting it. I do that in ready. So let's go here. Okay, so all I need to do is... building preview instance. Oh god, how do I rotate this again? Can I just call my rotation function and keep things easy for me? I don't think so. Because that'll mess with some things. Let me just go steal my own code then. Sounds good to me. How's the project going? Pretty well. I managed to find the bug that I ended stream on last time. It was actually really easy. Turns out saves were fine. So now I'm just kind of derping around doing a couple of quality of life things, and then we're gonna implement some enemies. I'm kind of looking forward to it. Okay, so how do I do this? Here we go. Yeah. Like, I'm excited. I really am. It's gonna be great. So, right now, just doing a minor thing. Oh, I can't do that. Direction. This is going to be... building rotation. Yes. Okay, and then, how do I do flip? Yeah, if, flip is true. Oh no. Oh wait, no, you were talking about soft locking the game. You're talking about something else, okay. So no, that's not on no, that's awesome. Good job. Let's see, building preview instance dot scale dot x equals -1. Okay, so does that work now? Yay. What's my flip button again? God, it's been so long since I've done this. Okay, there we go. We're good to go. So now when you move between rooms while you're building, all of your stuff stays the same. I think that's a little bit more intuitive than having it change. No, that's fantastic. Dude, as soft locking is like the worst kind of bug because it's not a problem with the code, it's a problem with your design. And sometimes spotting that can be a challenge, but glad to hear that that's not happening to you. I was just reading wrong because when I go to read chat, I'm generally glancing over and reading very quickly. Sometimes it leads to problems. Okay, let's see. Let's see, is there any other little quality of life things that I've been wanting to do? I'm trying to remember my list of things of just like, yeah, that sounds like a problem for future me. But there actually aren't that many. Most of it is like math, and I don't want to do that yet. That actually is a problem for future me. Oh yeah, I wanted to fix this. So this probably makes no sense to anyone here, but let me explain. So if you see this black bubble going around the player here, that is supposed to be the area that the player can build in. You gotta go be doing a running and hopping in order to build your factory properly. And when the chain you're trying to build is within that area, it's supposed to turn green. When it's outside of it, it's supposed to turn blue. And you can see that it's green up in the corner here and blue everywhere else. And the reason that's happening is because the game thinks the player is up here, and that's no good. So, yes. Yeah, awesome. That sounds... yeah, I'm trying to think of how I would do that, because, yeah, that's certainly a non-trivial mechanic, especially when you're doing it in 3D. Oh yeah, awesome, good job. Okay. So, yeah, let's go ahead and fix that. So, the way that I've been doing it is I decided, you know what, let's try and see if I can get the player in Factory Global. No, I really can't. It's unfortunate. I still need the player here in order to update stats properly, but I can't really do it like this. So I'm gonna take out that one. And is this ready? Yeah, we're not gonna do this in ready anymore. And instead, yeah, the only place Factory Global needs to know about the players when it's updating stats, so I'll just do it here. Because I do need it before I can do anything. Alright, there we go. Yeah. Yeah, that actually sounds, that certainly sounds interesting. So it's an actual upgrade there, not just a default mechanic. Interesting. All right. Okay, so that should be fine. And then anytime I reference the player here, I have to properly update it now. Player elements. Okay. Huh, am I not? Where am I setting player location? Because I see the... I am not setting player location. Was there no problem with what I was doing in Factory Global then? Okay, because that would explain why it thought the player was in the corner. Okay, let's see, when do I actually need to check this? Because if I don't have to update it every frame, I'm not going to. And it, yeah, is inside build areas, probably about the only time I need to know its location. Okay, so player location is equal to factory global dot player dot can I do what I'm debating if I use position or global position here. I probably just use position. Let's see if that does it. Okay, that looks promising. Okay, but here is wrong. Here is also wrong. This should be inside. And then if it moves, I would like it to update in real time. So I'm gonna have to think about how I'm gonna do that. So let's see. That's probably will involve some shenanigans with process. Let me see. I don't think there's much point in running around while you're trying to build a path like that, but I know people will do it, and I want it to look correct. So I do think that's something I should do right now. Let's see. So blueprints. Okay, so here. So this is where I start doing that, and I do check for distance changes. I think I can also check to see. So I want this condition. I'll go ahead and put it all in a parens if it'll let me. Okay, looks like it will. Or, I'm just gonna put it in parentheses for my own ease of reading. Player location is not equal to factory global dot player dot position. Will that update it properly? So it's still not quite calculating where things go properly, but this is at least getting the movement right. So this works. Now I just have to get it to recognize when it's kind of half in, half out. And I thought I had that working before, but apparently not. So let's go check it out. So we do this. And man, it has been forever since I've looked at this code, but I do remember, yeah, here we are. Okay. If inside build area is false. Okay, so that's all just other shenanigans that kind of help me determine what direction the pipes are facing, and whether or not they need to be transformed and that kind of thing. I'm just gonna be vague there. Don't worry about it if you don't know what I'm talking about. It's a mechanic. Let's see, so... we get the player's position, and then I check to see whether the distance is in there. And then I check the cell size, so I'm trying to get the 4 corners of the cell. I would have thought that would have worked. I did consider on whether or not I'd have to subtract 1 from some of these. Let me look at this again. So, yeah, it's the ones that are kind of half in, half out. Like, this one should be inside. This one should not be considered outside. And over here... Okay, this one worked right. So this one was still considered inside. This one is firmly outside, so that's fine. This one is partially in there. Like, this corner is in it. So that should be inside. This one is, like, mostly inside, so this one should definitely be inside. And it's considering all of these outside. That's definitely not right. I'm surprised that it's considering this one outside. Okay. Oh. I clicked the wrong thing. There we go. Let's see. Yeah, I want to go back and look at how I'm handling that. Let me go remember my logic here. Where is handle pipe path? Is it that one? Yes, okay. Okay, let's see. So this is where I create the path. That looks to be accurate. It's just everything else here that gets me the colors. Alright, and this is where I start getting the path to make the highlights. So right now, this would just turn everything green, I believe. Okay, and so I check to see if the first one is inside or outside the build area. No, it's definitely just an issue here. Because all of this seems fine. I'm just not getting an accurate number here. Okay, let's print the player position. Factory global dot player dot position. I'm not actually sure how much this will help me, but that's fine. I'll figure it out. And then I want to go through each of these. Let's just go through each of these and see where it's getting messed up. And if I need to, like, subtract 1 from somewhere or something. I could believe that I could. Okay. So we're gonna get number spam! You guys ready? Love numbers! Okay, so there's the player position. What's my radius? I think I have that, like, hard-coded somewhere in here. What do I compare it to? Build area radius. Yes. Where do I put it there? 280. Okay, so this is all within the 300s, which... Okay, I need to do a better test. All there is to it. Let's try that again. So this time I'm going to do it right there. I'm gonna pull it down. So 280.7. This is all 300s. Well, it's true. It is a little bit bigger. Okay. In that case, I am going to try... my thought of just subtracting 1. Okay. Relocation.y minus 1. Close enough is fine here. Oh, right. There you go. You can be happy now, spirits. So let's see. This one I'm going for... yeah, X plus cell size, so that'll be the upper right. This one will be the lower left, it looks like. I believe, let me think. Is -1 what I want here? Because I think I might actually need +1 here. Oh, I should close the game. Let's see. So, picturing it in my head, if I wanted to go more toward the center, yeah, I want to add 1 here because I want it to go a little bit lower. So, and then here, I want it to go to the right slightly. Yep, so this will be +1. And then here, I want it to be looking a little bit... yeah, up. So this will be a -1. And then this one is going to be the lower... no, this one was the lower right. Which means this should be -1. Okay, this is the one that should be here. And... okay, let's see if that makes it a little bit more reliable. No, it still thinks it's firmly outside of this one. Do I just have the circle the wrong width? I might. I don't remember how big I made it. I should check that. Let's see. What was the radius on this collision shape? Not that one. Radius 280, and it mostly contains the whole thing. It does look like there's maybe a little bit outside, so I'll make it a little bit bigger. Let's make it an even 300. That's a little bit too big. How about 290? 285? That looks pretty good to me. And then I just need to update Factory Global. Yeah, it still thinks that one is outside, though. when I look at the sprite here, that collision seems fine. Do I just have the circle here off center? Like, where is the player's origin? It's at its feet, right? And where is build area's origin? In its face. So if anything, the ones above it should be a little bit closer, right? I forgot to close the game again. My bad. But yeah, I see that his origin is here at his feet. And then we have the build area, which I put up kind of on his nose there. I guess I'll move it to the player's origin. Where's the transform here? Like, I think this is favoring the lower part a little bit too heavily, so, I really don't like that, though. I like it being a little more centered like this. So I kind of have two options. I can, you know, do the silly thing and have the build area be a little bit more centered here. Or I can have it where I think it makes more sense and then adjust my calculation for how the player location is being found. I think it makes more sense to leave it like that and adjust how my player location is being found. So I'll go ahead and leave it at 285. I still think that looks good. I think it's fine. I probably could have left it at 280, but it's fine. I'm gonna get rid of all these -1s. This should be okay. Just revert it to what I had before. I'm gonna get rid of all the prints, and no, stop it. Okay. Vector 2 dot x no. Vector global dot player dot position dot y plus or minus, what was it, like 62 or something? Yeah, 62. Okay. So now it should calculate right. I think that this is more intuitive, of having it be more central to the player as opposed to at its feet. But I think for a lot of other collision detection, I will be grateful that the hitbox is at his feet. Or rather, that his origin is at his feet. So, we're going with this. Looks like it works the way I expect now, though. So, wonderful. Yeah, this one is just like barely inside, so that's fine by me. Okay, yeah, I think that's fixed. So let's see, was there anything else that was kind of broken that I wanted to fix? I should test this for, like, a copy and pasting. Oh yeah, and I should make my copy and paste, UI stuff not suck. Okay, so it's not doing it at all for copy and pasted stuff. Yeah, let's go and make my blueprint placing and copy and pasting UI not terrible. So let's see, how do I want to handle that? How do I want to handle that? Like, if I clear here. So the basic idea is that we highlight the thing like this. and then I let go, and then I press C to copy it. And so, how do I make that more intuitive? I actually think it might just be a tooltip that comes up. Yeah, because this doesn't feel bad or anything, and then maybe, while we're in this state, I can press a different button to deselect. I mean, you can just click and it'll deselect, so I think that's actually okay. Yeah, this doesn't actually feel that bad. It was on my list of things to fix, now that I'm thinking about it, but no, I think this is fine. A tooltip might be helpful, though. I'm just thinking about where I'd want to put it. Maybe at the location you started dragging? No, I think C to copy, B to make blueprint. Is there an obvious place to just stick, like, little hints there? You know, I haven't thought about this too hard. I'll just put it anywhere for now, I guess. Actually, you can see, I am in crisis. It's rather silly. I don't think I'm gonna worry about it right now. It's like I could. But I think all I'm gonna do is that once you have something like this selected, we're gonna bring up a little tooltip that will tell you which buttons to hit, depending if you want to copy and paste or make a blueprint. And then it'll go away once you hit either of the buttons. Yeah, I guess I can do it now. It's just text. So literally the only thing that matters is where I decide to spawn it. I'm not quite sure where I want to do that. So I'll just put it somewhere, and we'll consider it part of the scuff to charm of the placeholder assets. And I can position it more nicely a little bit later. So let's see, how do I make tooltips here? I've done it before. So where's that tooltip function that I currently have? I can't find it. There we go. Tooltip scene. Okay, so I literally made a new scene for it. Okay, that's fine. I can do that again. And then I had to do shenanigans in order to make it so you could close it without building pipes, and I still hate it. Okay. So sure, let's make another silly little tooltip scene. Just make it a node 2D. I think that's fine. Actually, I might want this to be control. Okay, let me find my other tooltip scene. Type tooltip. What are you? You were a control. Okay. Where is change? There you are. So this is going to be the copy tooltip. Alright. And I don't really need to do anything very special here, so I'm gonna make a panel. And that looks fine. And then a margin container. And then do I need an H box? I don't think I need an H box. I need a V box. Okay, and then Yeah, that's it. Okay, cool. So now I can put in my text. So we'll make 2 labels. This one will be for copy. And this one will be for blueprint. I'm just naming them so I don't get myself confused. And this will be press C to copy. B to make blueprint. And then how did I make it fill properly? I don't remember. Oh yeah, and I need the little X. So maybe I did need a V-box, because I do want that to be on the side there. Okay. Okay, so we have the V-box container, the H-box container will be inside of that, and then a button. And your text is just going to be X. And... oh, wait, I accidentally made another V-box instead of a... this is supposed to be an H-box. There we go. Okay, so now I have my little X button there, and everything looks wonky as hell, but that's fine. Don't worry about it. Okay, and then from there, let's see, how did I get the panel going all the way across again? I don't remember. God, it's been a little while since I have made this. So, anchor preset full rect. Oh yeah, no worries. Don't worry, I had to get comfortable. I like it when people co-work with me. You don't need to be constantly chatting if you've got other stuff you're doing. Truly, I am honored to be background music. Okay. Is that really how I did it? Are you really a full rect? So why are you showing a little bit here, whereas you're not showing it all here? Someday I will look more into Godot UI stuff. That day is not today, I think. Let's see. I'll do a little bit. It'll be fine. Okay. Well, it looks terrible. I think that's good enough. I'll make the button work, and that'll be it. So let's see. You will go into buildings, and you'll be copy tooltip. That is perfect. Okay, and then I will add a script to you, and you will go into the scripts folder. And now I just need to hook up the button. So this is when it is clicked. And once again, I actually want to check the script here. Yes, can you open that for me? I need to look at it. Okay, you did. Thank you. Okay, and I disable everything, and it's all very awkward. Alright, so now this button I need pressed. I need focus. It is focus entered, right? No, mouse entered. Okay. Mouse entered. And mouse exit. Okay, and then I'm just gonna steal my code from here because it's working. And it just needs to do the same thing. I still hate that you have to do all this rigmarole in order to get the UI to actually stop clicks. That just seems like it should be so basic. I'm still surprised that I have to do so many shenanigans. But there we go. So now I just need to hook this up. So this is after you release the dragging. So that'll be up in input. Right around here. So with copying, no. Pipe dragging, no. Selection dragging. Here we are. And I just want to plop this somewhere convenient. Where do I want to plop this? Where do I want to plop this? I do worry that it'll also kind of get in the way. I actually am kind of worried about that. Like, once you know the buttons, you don't have to be reminded of it. I think I might actually think about the UI implications of this later. Okay. I was thinking about doing it now, but no, every time I think about it, I'm just like, huh. No, that's actually a relatively complicated decision, isn't it? So we'll leave it scuffed and just do nothing for now. And we'll see if I keep this as it is, or if I completely change it. That's fine. Alright, in that case, let's see, is there any other little UI things I wanted to do? Let me... Oops, wrong button. Go bring up the game again. So if we copy you, I can flip... Okay, there we go, I hit the wrong button. Yeah, we can flip, we can rotate. And that's all well and good. And we can do that with the blueprints, right? Oh, I broke this. Oh, yeah, because I got rid of that. Okay. Let's get rid of all those. I did a different solution. That was way more brute force. Okay. There's probably going to be little legacy things like that just here and there. Oh god. Now that's broken again, are you serious? Okay, let me see how I have the grid going. I mean, that's initially why I had that variable, but I don't think I use disable input here anymore. I know, right? You can always add more bugs. If you're not careful, they'll sneak up on you. Oh boy, because I thought I fixed it by... basically disabling everything when this came up, but I guess it's still listening for input for some reason. Did I not do that when we break the blueprint menu up? Get tree.paused. Yep, sure do. Okay, fine. We'll be more hardcore about it. Let's see. We're gonna do this. We are just going to say a freaking stop. Just stop. That's actually the wrong one, but give me a sec. We'll tell it to stop. So process mode disabled. Please stop. Is that sufficient? Oh, is that not how you do it? Okay, yeah, this is grid. Oh god, was I already doing that? Oh my. Well, let's see how it works! I believe in nothing right now. And it's still frozen. Oh god. Oh man. I hate it. Why does it make me do all these shenanigans just so people can type in a text box? Why is there no engine code that does it for me? Does it really think I want my shortcut keys, my keyboard shortcuts and movement stuff active while people are trying to type a name into a text box? Well, okay, nothing to be done about it. It still just seems like one of those things that should already be in the engine, just with those things. Because I can't think of a single place where you'd want the flexibility to make it so you can type a bunch of other things while people are trying to type into a text box. Maybe I'm just mad because I'm lazy. Let's see. So they'll be using the same input. It's just really awkward. I guess that's why I had all those things in here before. Okay, I guess we're putting it back. It's like, oh yeah, I get to clean up my code. Yay! And then it's like, no, you had that for a reason. Put it back! Okay, I'll put it back. I'll put it back. Let's see, where do I want to put that? Where do I want to put it? Okay. Var disable input. Bool. False. Okay, and on the blueprint menu. Yeah, that's what I called it. And now we go to the grid. If disable factory global dot disable input equals a true or a false, then you get to input, and if input is disabled, you don't input. Yeah, that's true for everything in input. Okay, input disabled again. All that because I wanted to name my blueprint blah, but it's okay, I caught the bug, so all is well, I guess. I just wanted to make sure I could rotate and flip it. I'm glad I checked. But yeah, we can rotate and flip it. All is well. I'm gonna go make another blueprint, just to make sure that there's no shenanigans. Cause right now I'm scared. I'm very scared. Are my buttons working? Okay. And, if I save and call it A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, Or 0, I guess. Okay, nothing broke. If I hit okay, are bad things about to happen? No, we're good. I should probably limit the amount of characters I put on this. But nonetheless, all is well. Okay, I'm happy. Is there an easy way to limit the amount of characters you can put in on an input? Let's go look. So that would be in my blueprint menu, which I do not have open right now. I'm trying to remember where I put it. It's not a building, so I'm guessing it's probably around here somewhere. Menus. Wonderful. You know, I should probably put... my little tooltips in my menu folder. That, I think, makes more sense. So we'll take copy tooltip and pipe tooltip, and I don't think this will break anything because of how I put everything together. And we will move them to menus. And then I will move their scripts into the script folder. Copy and a pipe. 'Cause those are little menus. That makes way more sense to have them here. Okay. So that's a little neater now, I guess. Let's see here. Right, so I was gonna look at the blueprint menu and see if there's an easy way to limit the amount of text that can go into a input box. I forget what they're called in Godot. Enter blueprint name. Here we are. So can I limit the amount of text that you put in there? Placeholder, alignment, max length. Wonderful. I don't think they need to be very long. I'm gonna go with 15 characters. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, I can't open it like that, otherwise it causes problems. No, stop it. I said open from testing room. What are you doing? See, we're in testing room now. Okay. This is gonna cause problems, actually. Okay. We can do a little more than 15. Let's go with 25. Alright, don't open it from there. That causes problems. Okay, you know what? I should make sure... I need to reset blueprint menu to where it belongs. Because you're supposed to be hidden by default. There we go. Good philosophy on life, yes. Alright, let's type in some random letters, see about how much space that gives me. That seems pretty good. I think 25 characters is probably enough. Oh no. Spirits are trying to talk to me again. I wish they'd stop. There we go. Look, I'm the one that's supposed to tell the robots what to do. They're not supposed to tell me what to do. I will take no sass from bots. Alright. Let's see. So I think that's fine now. Are there any other small things? No, I think that's most of those small things. Like, at some point, I do want to start thinking about how the player should be able to move and whatnot. It's gonna be a little bit trickier for this game, because most of the time in a Metroidvania, like, you have a set movement speed, you have a set jump height, maybe you increase them a little bit as the game goes on, but probably not very much. But here, it's gonna be like an everyday occurrence. It's gonna happen a lot. So, I can't really calibrate move speed or jump height or a lot of the usual game feel stuff. I'm gonna have to do shenanigans. I can at least get it for the factory though, so. But right now, I think that most of this is feeling pretty alright. And you press a button to do that, and that's fine. And I've made it so you can go backwards, and that's great. And I do think that the wheel is fine. Switching between is pretty easy. I guess at some point I should probably get underground pipes working again. That's probably a good idea. I actually haven't thought too deeply on how I wanted the UI for that to be. Yeah, I mean, when it's the core mechanic of the game, you gotta be ready. I'm still not quite sure I'm gonna handle that, but that one actually probably is a problem for future me, because I want the sprite work to kind of come at the same time as some of that, because how the sprite looks and behaves is actually a pretty core to making the game feel good. And making it so that the way you move is pretty intuitive and doesn't look like jank. So I'm still not quite sure how I'm gonna handle that. I'm probably gonna have to, like, speed up and slow down the sprite in certain ways, maybe change the animation in fairly drastic ways when you just get really big numbers. I think that would be pretty satisfying to look at. Of just, you know, maybe at the beginning you're walking, but then after a while you're just, you know, vaguely hovering off the floor and going whoosh when you're just really, really fast. Because otherwise, just imagine a really fast-moving running animation. That would look absurd. And maybe somewhere in between you're leaping. I don't know. I think something like that might be interesting. It's gonna require a lot of thought, though. And I'm not ready. Okay, what was I gonna look at again? I was looking at something, but now I can't remember what I was about to do. I hate it when this happens. Man. Let me make sure moving my pipe tooltip didn't explode the world. Okay, it did not explode the world. We're fine. I was gonna say, I thought I did it based on UID, but just to make sure. So we got pipes going between rooms like I want. We've got the blueprints and the dragging working the way that I want. I think that all looks good. You can overwrite what you built, and I think that works fine. There was something, right? What the hell was I just thinking about? Oh no! Yeah. Well, the main thing is just that it's so highly variable. I don't think I can use the same animation. There's... The animation that works when your movement speed is 10, and you can barely move at all, is not going to be the same when it's 1 million, and you're, like, clearing entire screens in half a second. But that's okay. That actually is a problem for future me. I swear I was thinking about something. Right. I don't know how big the numbers are gonna get yet. But for that order of magnitude, does seem about right. It probably depends. It's gonna depend on a lot of things. We might have to throttle your speed a little bit when you go to early rooms, because otherwise you're just not gonna have the granularity to do it. This is something that my husband and I have talked about a little bit, but not so much in detail. God, what the hell was I thinking about? I'm gonna assume it wasn't that important if I can't even remember what the hell I was doing. So... Man, you know, that just reminds me of something really cute. The other day, my husband and I were talking about some stuff, and I said hell, and my son was like, "Don't say hell, mommy." I'm not sure who taught him that it was bad to say such things, because it certainly wasn't me, but it was so cute. Alright, it was underground pipes. Okay, that's what I was gonna do. I was gonna figure out the UI for underground pipes. Oh my god, he is so cute. Just adorable. It's great. But yes, I was gonna get underground pipes working. That actually does seem important. Let's see. So... Right, let me talk through what I was worried about when it comes to underground pipes. So, if I was just worried about people building underground pipes here, like, just doing it like this would be fine. Yeah, I got in trouble for my 4-year-old. But yeah, if I was gonna do it here, I currently have gutted everything related to underground pipes, but in my original design, this would switch to the ending one, and then I would connect them together. But what happens if you make a blueprint that has the start and the end? Just pretend like this is the end from now. And you have 2 sets. How does it know how they're connected? And that was something I hadn't actually figured out yet. I'm not quite sure how to do it. Man, can I do this right now? I kind of like to work, at least when it comes to stream, actually work on the things that I kind of have an answer to and don't need to think about. I've been working on learning how to write fiction the past couple of weeks. So I've been taking a break from working on the game and working on that instead. So I haven't been thinking about this too much. I've been thinking about writing. I'll probably end up going back harder into this soonish, but it's leaving me feeling like I'm a little unprepared for stream sometimes. I just got the urge to do so because I was driving myself a little bit insane with my pipe loop math. So I just needed a little break, but now I'm feeling better, so I might get back to it, but man, how am I gonna handle that? Because and even then, the way that I tell that 2 pipes are connected is simply through my pipe dictionary that tells which square they give to and which square they receive from. The other pipes don't know anything about each other. So I'm not sure how I'm gonna hook these things up. That's something I definitely gotta figure out though, because underground pipes are important. They are going to allow for a little bit more flexibility in the factory layout, so it's like... And the part that I'm worried about, because it would be fairly trivial to make it so that you say click on one and then click on the one you want it to connect to or something. And, that would be fine, but again, the only reason they know they're connected is because of a pipe dictionary. And blueprints do not have a pipe dictionary. You'd have to reconnect them every time you built that blueprint. And that seems annoying. So I'm not sure if I like this solution. I guess I could make an underground pipe list in Factory Global, but that seems stupid. And it wouldn't be reliable because the way I would check that would be based on its position. But its position in the blueprint editor is not going to be the same as its position when you actually place it in the world. So this is actually not easy. So I'm going to need to really think about that. Okay, so I can't do underground pipes right now. Let's do enemies then. Let's go make an enemy. Okay, so how do I want to structure this? I think I'm gonna make a new folder for enemies. Because we have the player, we've got menus and stuff, so yeah, let's do it. Enemies. No, this isn't supposed to be a scene, this is supposed to be a folder. Enemies, there we go. And I will structure it the same as the player, so we're gonna have assets, script, sound. Yeah, seems good to me. And a sound. If I need more later, I can do that, but that seems fine. And then in just the base folder, that's where I put all the scenes. I've never felt the need to have a separate subfolder for that. It's like I could, but it's fine. So, let's go create a new scene. What kind of thing should enemies be? I might just make them areas. I mean... Let's see, what were the options again? Let's see, I want to go look for... collision object, so like, where is... character and stuff? We got sprites... So I know it's like, what, rigid body, area 2D, character body 2D. I'm pretty sure I don't want to use character body from what I remember reading. But I'm not sure if I want it to be a rigid body either. Let's see. I'm just trying to remember where they all are. Where does it inherit from? I don't remember. Okay, collision object 2D. Yeah, and that's kind of that's kind of why I didn't think that was the right thing, because that's what I thought rigid bodies were for. So we have area, physics body. Static one is the one that doesn't move. Rigid body might be fine. Character body, I think I just want to use for the player, because they have some stuff. Oh, my pipes there. They're not going to be affected by physics, but I was like, I think this is for the ones that don't move. Character body, I think it's just going to be for the player, which would mean rigid body, but that doesn't feel right. Do I just make them areas? I think some of them I won't want to collide with the player, though. For my pipes, no. For enemies. Oh yeah, so yeah, rigid body is probably what I'm thinking of. And then anyone that I don't want to explicitly collide with the player. That probably would just be an area. I don't really want them to bounce or anything. I don't plan to use the physics system a lot, but I do think that for basic enemies. Character body is fine for that? Okay. Alright, sure. We can go with that then. Okay. So you will be generic enemy. I don't know what I'm gonna do with you yet, so you will be generic enemy, and we'll make more stuff once I have actual enemies. Right now, I just want to make sure I can, like, get hit by the player and stuff. We're not gonna add any logic or anything to him, we're just gonna make it so he can get hit. So, you will need a damage area. And a sprite. I think I'd like the damage area to be below that. And I'm guessing you're complaining about lack of hitbox, right? Okay, and you need your collision. But let's give you a sprite first. Let me see, what kind of a sprite should I use for this one? You know what? Let's go use my face. Let's do it. Texture. Doesn't want it to be in there. Okay, I'm gonna have to just move a placeholder thing there. But sure, let's go use my face. Sounds good to me. And then we'll go ahead and I guess we'll just plop it over here for now. No, I don't want you there. I want you just out here. Because we're gonna get rid of that, and now your texture can be this. There we go. That's gonna be the enemy. Okay, much like the player, I think I'm just going to... Oh, it's not making me keep the aspect ratio. I guess that's fine. It'll make it look more scuffed. If I mess it up. Oh... Yeah, that's fine. Let's see. I do want it to be mostly centered, though. That's how I did the player, right? Yeah. Let's see. How big did I make it? You know, maybe I should, because the big is like... Actually, I don't remember how big I made that image. Where do I see the size? Now that I've resized it, I just don't remember where I look at these things. Scale, here we are, 35 by 35, so it's a third of its original size. I wish I could see what this is in pixels. Because I don't remember how big I made this image originally. I guess I have it right here. How big are you? 500 by 500. $175 now. 87.5. I was pretty close. Okay, and you should be 0. Wonderful. Okay, so that should be fine. And now I can get the collision shapes and stuff on it. I'll just get him right on there. That's not quite right, but it's close enough. So I'm gonna call it good. And this probably still wants a collision shape, but I'm not sure if it needs another collision shape. I guess it probably needs it in order to push things away. So I'll just make another one. Also because the warning bothers me. This feels very silly, but don't worry about it. And they're different sizes. That's just like the perfect scuff. Okay, so generic enemy. Let's put you in enemies. There we go, and now I can go put a generic enemy over here. I'll go... Oh, I don't want to be flying. I'll go over here, so that this way it's on the opposite side of my damage area. So let's see, can I take damage? Alright, I have the factory on right now. Okay, not saying ouch. Over here is. Does it not have the script attached to it then? Oh, it does. What does my damage area script look like again? Once I remember where I put it. Yeah, here we are. Attack area, damage area. Okay, so... Oh, I probably don't have it listening on the right layers. That would make sense. Okay, let's see. So damage area, collision... Yeah, what? I'm trying to remember which one you had to go on. You need to be... Let's see, you are... enemy. And you don't care about any of that. Well, you might care about the ground. It's okay, generic enemy, we're not gonna worry about it right now. I'll worry about collisions with the ground and stuff later. So let's see. I think I might have this backwards. This is the layer it's on, right? This is... Yeah. And this is the one that it listens for. Okay. It doesn't need to listen for anything. It just needs to be on the enemy layer, I believe. Wrong one. It just needs to be on the enemy layer, I believe. Right. Yep, there we go. Now I can go ouch. Okay, so we have an enemy. Enemy is there, so... I guess we can start giving it some HP. Let's see, what do... I need to remind myself how my damage area script works. Damage taken dot emit. Attack area, okay. And that's just iframes after you hit it. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I have the signal attached to anything yet. What? Let's see. So I guess at that point, I probably hook that signal up to the enemy. And when that happens, when it takes damage, I can reduce it from its health or something. Let me just remember how I do things. I haven't done a bunch of stuff with signals, so I'm trying to remember the syntax for manually connecting them. And if there's anything I have to worry about with that. I don't think so. Okay, so let's see. I kind of want to make separate components that I can reuse for everything. So for anything that needs HP, I'll probably just make a health component here. Yeah, seems good, and that way I can put it on both the player and the enemy. And we'll give him some HP. So, what needs to happen for things that have health? I think it just listens for the damage. Yeah, the damage taken signal. And then we'll have the attack area. Let me see. What's my attack area look like again? So I have an export variable for damage. So that means on my player I can decide how much damage I want it to be doing, which right now I do believe I just have it at 1. Where's your attack area? Here we are. 1 is fine for now. We'll just let it count up like that. This number's gonna change like all the time, so it's probably okay. Yeah, that should be fine. You know what? I should hook this up to its attack stat right here. So on ready, update stats. Attack equals that. Okay, all that's all well and good. But then I need to say that attack area. Actually, I think I have this as a variable already, don't I? Yeah, attack area dot damage equals attack. This may not be correct forever. There may be equipment and stuff that ends up happening, but this is fine for now. And for now, we'll just leave it at 1. So I want to do another silly condition here. So if attack is less than 0, we're gonna make it 1, and I'll update it at the bottom here. Okay, there we go. So this way I'll at least always have 1 damage. Okay, and that'll make it easier to test this. So let's figure out what things with HP need to be able to do. What do things with HP need to be able to do? So we'll have this for when they take damage. And then I guess when HP is 0, they just need to die. And I think that's all things with HP do. They can take damage and die. Maybe I'll add a heal option at some point too. But right now I think it's literally just take damage and die. Seems perfect. Alright, let's do it. So now I have to think. I'm thinking about my folder structure again. I might just make a components thing here, and then the player and the enemies will be for like very specific scripts. So let's that sounds good. Components. And components are probably going to be entirely scripts. So I'm not going to make a separate scripts folder for them. So this will be health component. There we go. Max health and current health. Yeah, I guess keeping track of your max health and current health is the thing. Current health is Actually, I don't even think max health matters until I add heal. But yeah, current health is for taking damage. So let's see. Class name health. Component. Perfect. Okay, so on ready. I need to connect to that signal. God, what's the syntax for connecting to signals manually? I think it's just, signal.connect. Let me see. I am going to refresh myself before I do something silly and start, flailing and all that. Let me just see. I probably... am I gonna need a message bus? I might. Just doing a little bit of reading here. Okay. So I'd want... Yeah, I can tell that I haven't messed with signals in code. I've only messed with signals in the signal editor here. So I'm just trying to think of the right way to think about it. Let me see. Attack area. I probably actually do connect it here. Where's attack area? I just need an example. Let's see. Okay, so if areas damage area.take damage. Okay. And so it's overlapping in the area there. So then we have this. And now I just need to get this signal out. And it'll bring out the attack area so that this way I can get the amount of damage done. So I need to get this into the health component. Does everything that takes damage have a health component? I'm just thinking, like, would I give health to, I don't know, breakable pots or something? It would make sense. I'd just make it really low so that you'd always kill them in one hit, I guess. That's probably safe. This is just one of those things I haven't done before, so I might... I thought I'd be able to get a little further, but I want to make sure that I do this right and I don't just put together something stupid because I happen to be on stream. So I think I actually kind of want to look into some of this a little bit. We'll leave it there, I think. Just to make sure that I do properly connect everything. I've done, you know, listener... God, why can't I remember the name of that, programming... God, I can't even remember the name of that right now. I'm thinking about too many things, but yes, I have done stuff with listeners before, but not specifically in Godot. So I want to make sure that it looks the way I expect. And I just want a couple of examples. I guess I can look for them real quick here. So let's see. Because when that signal is emitted, I want to be able to call the function that would adjust HP accordingly. And then if it reaches 0, it dies. That seems pretty straightforward. So let me just see if I can find a good example for how to do that. Give me a moment to just read a little bit, so sorry if I get a little bit quiet. Just want to make sure that I am thinking about all of this in the right way. And that I don't flail too hard. God, it's hard to read and talk at the same time. Okay. I don't know, maybe I should do something that I already know how to do. But this is generally what I do when I'm just looking through things that I haven't really done before. I don't know. I hit Google, I go look for examples on the forums, sometimes I look at the documentation. Right now I'm looking at the documentation. Okay. And there we go. I see the buttons there. Player.hit.connect. Okay, so I would need to know where the damage area is. That's probably easy enough to do as long as I make it a unique name. Yes, what? Reading is very controversial. Look, I just don't like being quiet for long periods of time. Like I said, I'm honored to be background music, but if I stop talking, I'm terrible background music. There's no sound! Let's see, so... That's right, the documentation is also in Godot itself, isn't it? Let me pull it up here. Can I find it? Search help. Signals. Okay, so this is basically what I was reading. Assuming it's the same on the documentation page, I might as well have it up here. Oh no. I don't know, I feel like as the information age has continued, reading has actually gotten more important, not less important. Because, like, how else do you talk to people on the internet? It's like, I guess video calls might be more of a thing, but who knows? Or maybe screen reader technology will just have gotten so much better that it just always reads to you, but... I don't know, man. Alright, so this is basically what I was reading. I don't really want to read the whole thing out loud. But this is what I am looking at. Just make sure that I actually know how this thing works before I try to use it. I think every generation thinks that. I don't know, like, that's been... If you read old literature, that's been a thing for, you know, well over 1,000 years at this point. Everyone thinks that the previous generation is stupid. And yet we persist. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so this is giving the parameters. So I just need to know the, like, what the parameter of my function is over here is just the attack area itself, so that this way I can get the number I want off of it. Do I need to know any more information about it? Because otherwise it might make more sense to just do attack area dot damage and give it the it's a lot of things. No, I understand why it happens. But frankly, I don't think humanity's changed very much. And I think it'll continue to not change very much. At least with its core nature. I'm being vague because I'm not sure if I want to debate. I just wanted code. So let's see. Oh, where's my signal? There we go. Okay, so let's see. And this will get the parameter player.hit .connect. Okay, so it's connecting to a hit in the player. So in my case, I'd want to get it from my damage area. Just to connect signals, okay. And so we have buttons. Let's see. So where does it show where it's emitted? Yeah, right here. Okay. Hit. Okay, so it hit the Dark Lord for 5 damage. Sprint hit by... with weapon. Parameters. Okay. I'm still not quite sure I understand. Let's see. Maybe I just need to read more thoroughly. It's true. I mean, I won't doubt that a lot of things are definitely making people lazy. I mean, there's been a lot of people that have come through here asking like, hey, why don't you use AI to write your code for you? And I'm just like, I don't want to. Gotta keep my edge, man. I want to make sure I know what I'm doing before I use any tools like that. And I think that's a good way to be. You definitely don't want to get too lazy. And, I mean, even with that AI, I do think that there are some legitimate issues that society is going to have to solve. But for me, I actually think that the two biggest things that people are having to deal with is, one, people need to get better about being able to regulate their own emotions and deal with negative emotions better. And, two, people are way too quick to judge other people, I think. But for me, those are the things that are destroying society. So, AI will make the first one worse. Not so much the second, I think. I don't think that AI will help much with it, of course, but I don't think it'll make it that much worse. The second is just natural human things, and that's always been true, and it's unfortunate. So, okay, let's see. Maybe I will just read this out loud because I just feel so awkward when I stop talking. So let's read about signals again. Signal is a built-in variant type that represents a signal of an object instance. Like all variant types, it can be stored in variables and passed in functions. Oh, it's not even about being kinder. I don't care if you're kind or not. And the second one has nothing to do with kindness. It has to do with tribalism. So, that's why I say I'm explaining badly, but that's fine. Let me see, where was I? Signals are now connected callables, and by extension, the respective objects to listen and react to events without directly referencing one another. This keeps code flexible and easier to manage. You can check whether an object has a given signal name using object.hasSignal. In GD script, signals can be declared with the signal keyword. I don't care about C#. So signal attacked, signal item dropped, item name. Yeah, that's fine. When the signal is emitted. Connecting signals is one of the most common operations in Godot, and the API gives many options to do so, which are described further down. The code block below shows the recommended approach. Var button equals button.new, button.buttondown.connect. Okay, so we got button. It's gonna have a button down signal, which is true. Okay, this assumes a player class exists with a defined hit signal. Player equals player.new. Player.hit.connect. So I just need to assume that there's a damage area, and I guess I'll try giving it a unique name, and we'll see if this explodes the code. So let's go ahead and do that. So I think everything that has a damage area will have a damage area called damage area, and I'll just make sure that's true. I don't think things need multiple damage areas, and if it ever comes to a time where you do need multiple damage areas, I'll make the second one have a unique name and not the first. Sounds good to me. Okay. Alright, let's see here. So we have damage area here. So in my health component, am I able to do this? Var damage area equals damage area. And then... Oh, right, of course. There we go. And... then if we go func ready, print damage area. I just want to see if that will work. So let's go into the enemy now. And we'll give him a health component. Do I have to make a node first? Okay. Inspector, script, load. Okay, and this will be the health component. Okay, so... okay, so yeah, it gets something, so this should be reliable. So then from there, I go ahead and... I guess... damage area... dot... what did I call that signal? Damage taken. Dot connect. And what's the syntax for it? Oh god, I closed it. That's fine. I'll go ahead and use my document. I don't want to look for it. Let's see. Dot connect. And then you put in the function name that you want to call. Okay. So I'm gonna call this take damage. I actually think that might be what's called there, but... yes? No. But, yes. It should be fine. Okay, so that should be fine. So, func... take... damage. I do think it's probably gonna need a parameter, but don't worry about it. So... I'm gonna need to figure out how to get the health in here. I guess I can just be an export variable that I just set when we create the enemy, so sure. Export var... I'll give it a max HP and a current HP. Okay, so that one I just set for the current enemies, and then on ready we say current HP equals max HP. Because I don't think we want things to hold over damage, hold over between rooms. Yeah, I don't think that's a good, I don't think that needs to happen right now, so this should be fine. And then from there, I will need to, like, bind a parameter, I think. Assuming I'm thinking of the syntax correctly here. Yeah, so damage. And now how do I get the thing that was the variable that was emitted there? Because basically I just need a current HP is minus equals damage, and if current HP is less than or equal to 0, die. And this way I can maybe have some stuff if I need special death to happen and death animations and things like that, but right now we're just gonna do Q free. Okay. All right. Actually, I probably want these to be integers. I don't know if we're gonna want percentage health or float-based health yet, so I'll just leave them as integers for now. We might. I don't know. 'Cause I think what's in the factory is a float, but I guess it doesn't have to be. So there we go. Die, and now it cues freeze, and... sword. But where did those numbers come from? Look, it can be surprisingly complicated. Like right now, I just want to deal with the Q free. I'm just gonna have it disappear. But it's okay, you know, one thing at a time. So what is this? Because I want to get that number that I am emitting. And calling it emit, okay. Let me see. Okay, so let's read this section. Binding and passing parameters. The syntax to bind parameters through callable.bind, which returns a copy of the callable with its parameters bound. When calling emit or object.emit signal, the signal parameters can also be passed. The examples below show the relationship between the signal parameters and the bound parameters. So hit by... we pass 2 arguments when emitting, and we bind 2 more when connecting. So this might work? Print current HP. So it's just gonna go down by 1. So let's go to our generic enemy here, and we'll give him some health. We'll give him 10 health. So this might work. I'm not quite sure, but I'll try it. Yeah, it is. The number's going down. Okay, so I figured out how to do it. And now it should die. Okay, so it didn't die. It did not queue free. Current HP is less than or equal to 0. Die. Okay, I probably need to... so this is gonna be at the health component. So get parent.queue free. No? Oh, yes. Look, the spirits just wanted to have the parentheses, okay? So here we go. Let's go kill myself. Let's do it. Gonna just whack myself while I sit there, and poof. Excellent. I am now dead. Exactly what I was hoping for. And now if we go over to this one should never die because it doesn't have HP. Yep, that's exactly it. But it can still say ouch if I wanted to. Okay, cool. So, that was way less complicated than I thought. It just... I had to know how it worked. I just had to know how it worked. So now I can also put health components on the player, and its max HP will be, you know, based on stuff. Yeah. And then on, like, saving and loading, I'll be able to set its HP to whatever it's supposed to be. The max HP will always be based on the factory, so I shouldn't do that immediately on load. But yeah, okay, we have HP, kinda. It's not being displayed anywhere or anything, but I don't really want to deal with the UI right now. So let's go ahead and leave the print in there. And I'll leave the print that says ouch too, because it amuses me. So besides that, what else do I want to do with enemies right now? It's like all the players' movement and stuff is special, so that's why we have the state machine there. But I think for enemies, their behavior is probably going to be relatively simple. So I'll probably just make some separate movement components. Probably a different one depending on if it's flying or running. Yeah, sure. Let's think about what kind of components we need. I'll do it in the player. I'll take my notes here. Actually, no, we're gonna do it in generic enemy. I don't have a script for generic enemy yet, so let's give him a script. Okay. So, what kinds of components do I need for enemies? We're gonna want movement. Specific behavior, maybe... Yeah, I think a generic movement component's probably fine. So movement, flying or running. HP. Probably attack. I could probably just use attack area. So I probably already have that. And then I think a lot of it is just going to be specific behavior. I'm probably going to have to think about the structure of this quite a lot before I can actually really implement it. Because I think a lot of it is probably going to be unique behaviors for each enemy. But I can probably still make some generic components here. It's just, I get the feeling that a lot of enemies will just have, you know, some basic move speed and it'll move in a direction sometimes. Maybe it can jump. And I don't really need to reinvent that. I just, call the code on the movement function when the specific behavior says it needs to move. So I think that should be fine. I can't really think of much else. Because, you know, some of them might want projectiles and stuff, but I think that's probably going to cover a lot of it. I think this is just something I'm going to need to think about, unfortunately. I'll go ahead and leave that there. We'll do a round removing comments at some point. But yeah, this is telling me that I should probably start working on the game off stream a little bit more again. But there we go. We at least have something basic, and I got to show off what happens and make me feel, or what happens when I'm looking up how to actually do something that I haven't really done before, and get to feel very awkward about doing it live. Because most of the time I prefer to do that reading and tutorial searching off stream. But that's okay. We made it work. It's working. It's fine. Because, yeah, I don't really want to do UI right now, and I do think that most of the quality of life stuff I've got is there. I still need to fix the bug for room transitions, but I want to double check my friendly tutorial man for that, since I stole his code to begin with. I might as well, steal it properly now. Yeah, I think that might be all I'm gonna do today, but no, I'm happy. We've got HP. There's always a lot to work on. You know, game's not done. Yeah, it's starting to look like a video game. After weeks of beating my head against the factory mechanics, I think that they might be almost done. Because, like, I was thinking really hard about just small quality of life things that I could do. And there really weren't very many. Most of it feels pretty okay. I still need to do underground pipes, but that'll be a whole thing, I think. God, are we gonna be able to finish core mechanics within the next couple of weeks? That's crazy. I thought I was way further behind. Yeah, I guess it just depends on how much I do off-stream this week. But legit, I think we might be almost done with the core mechanics and stuff, and I can start thinking about art direction. When did that happen? Yeah, it's looking like we might have a few game dev stream days that become art days too. It was kind of inevitable, but I planned on doing a bunch of the concept stuff on stream. I thought I had more time, man. I gotta prepare. See, this is one of the reasons I like streaming. It keeps me moving. Because I have to think about, okay, what am I going to be doing every week? And this week I was like, okay, we're going to fix up all the stuff going between rooms. It'll be great. That'll probably take a bit of time, and then maybe I can work on enemies a little bit or other quality of life stuff. I'm sure it'll be fine. And then I solved the problem in like the first 30 minutes. And it was fine. Cool. Well, okay, I guess I'm gonna be working harder on game dev this week, and I might end up doing a little bit less writing. That's okay. Writing will be there for me when I'm ready for it. Because, yeah, I'm pretty excited. I'm finally gonna get to start thinking about art and beating my head against how the hell I'm gonna make the player controls feel nice. Because I don't really want it to feel jank. I think right now it feels a little jank. If I go back to the player here and I uncomment my jump height placeholder for now. Oh, wrong scene. Because right now it's like this doesn't feel awful, but I don't know. I'm not sure if it's the way I want to go. That sort of thing. But I wouldn't say it feels terrible or anything. Let me turn off the grid so I can attack and derp around with that too, because, yeah, I made sure that all the basic things were there. I don't think I have, coyote time or a jump buffer implemented yet. Maybe I do, because... No, I don't. Okay. Yeah, I should probably do that just to make certain things feel a little bit better, but no, I don't know. It doesn't feel that bad right now. Wait, did I just double jump by attacking? I did. Ooh. Okay, so we still got some shenanigans. Yeah. So, yeah, so when you attack, get in the air, attack, and then do it soon enough that the attack ends, you can jump again. Oh. Yeah, definitely don't want that to be happening. So minor bugs, but yeah, I'm not sure how I'm gonna make sure that this feels okay. Because I can't pick values. Yeah, I can't. Oh, hello, Planckera, you're solid. I cannot run into you. Okay, I'm gonna go jump on the enemy because that amuses me. Let's jump higher. Whee! I'm just gonna go and casually sit on myself for a little bit while I think. But yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out how I make sure that the controls feel good. Yeah, and like I said, they don't feel too terrible. It might be fine. I'm probably worrying too much, but that's like my core personality trait, so I can't help myself. But okay, yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and stop there for this week. God. What am I even gonna do next week? I guess we'll finish pipes and maybe I can beat my head against recursive loops between rooms. And start hitting myself there and see if that all works out. And then, well, we'll see. So, thank you all for coming. And I hope you're able to make something wonderful today. I will see you all tomorrow for some Atelier Ryza.